Concerns over electoral transparency continue ahead of Nigeria's 2027 elections. As Nigeria moves closer to the 2027 presidential election, concerns about electoral transparency and public trust in democratic institutions continue to shape political discussions across the country. Some Nigerians and political observers have expressed fears that the electoral process could face undue influence or manipulation if strong safeguards are not maintained. However, no official evidence has been presented to confirm claims that any institution or political party has concluded plans to rig the election. The debate reflects a broader demand among citizens for free, fair, and credible elections that truly reflect the will of the people. Many Nigerians are calling on the Independent National Electoral Commission, political parties, civil society groups, and security agencies to ensure that every vote counts and that electoral procedures are followed transparently. Critics of the current administration led by President Bola Tinubu and the All Progressives Congress argue that economic hardship, insecurity, kidnappings, and rising living costs have increased public dissatisfaction in many parts of the country. Supporters of the government, however, maintain that reforms introduced by the administration require time to deliver long-term results and that efforts are being made to address the nation's challenges. As political campaigns gradually intensify, voter participation and vigilance are expected to play a major role in shaping the outcome of the 2027 election. Many Nigerians believe that protecting democracy requires active civic engagement, peaceful participation, and confidence in the rule of law. The coming election is already being viewed as a significant moment for Nigeria's democratic future, with citizens expected to closely assess leadership performance, economic conditions, and electoral credibility before casting their votes. Nigeria's Dangote Refinery is changing Africa's oil industry. The Dangote Petroleum Refinery in Lagos is increasingly transforming Nigeria's position in the global oil market and changing how petroleum products are supplied across Africa. For many years, Nigeria exported crude oil and later imported refined fuel from foreign countries. This situation placed enormous pressure on the country's economy and foreign exchange reserves. However, the Dangote Refinery is helping to reverse that trend by refining large volumes of crude oil locally. According to industry reports, the refinery is now supplying a significant portion of Nigeria's fuel needs while also exporting petroleum products to several African countries. This development is reducing dependence on fuel imports and strengthening regional energy security. The refinery's growing production capacity has also affected international fuel trade. Countries and companies that previously supplied large quantities of fuel to West Africa are reportedly experiencing reduced demand as more refined products become available from Nigeria. Analysts believe the refinery could save Nigeria billions of dollars in foreign exchange annually while creating opportunities for economic growth, industrial development, and job creation. Despite these achievements, experts note that challenges remain, including ensuring stable crude oil supplies, maintaining production levels, and addressing regulatory issues within the energy sector. Many observers view the refinery as one of the most significant industrial projects in Africa, with the potential to reshape the continent's energy landscape for years to come. Key points. Dangote Refinery is reducing Nigeria's dependence on imported fuel. Nigeria is becoming a major exporter of refined petroleum products. Several African countries are now receiving fuel supplies from the refinery. Foreign fuel suppliers are facing reduced demand in West Africa. The project could save Nigeria billions in foreign exchange. Analysts believe the refinery could transform Africa's energy industry. Reno Omokri was among Nigerians who called for Buhari's removal over student kidnappings in 2021. In September 2021, Mr. Reno Omokri was among those Nigerians who reportedly called on ex-President Muhammadu Buhari to be removed from office following the kidnapping of students, according to reports at the time. Consistency is one of the qualities that makes any individual stand out in public life, and it is often used by the public to measure credibility. However, it is unfortunate that some political commentators and public figures whom many Nigerians look up to for guidance are sometimes accused of taking positions that appear inconsistent over time. Mr. Reno Omokri is viewed by some Nigerians as a man who does not always remain consistent in his political positions. Critics argue that he can switch from one position to another, especially when political circumstances change, without adequately explaining the reasons behind such changes. According to these critics, such actions can raise questions about credibility and public trust. Many Nigerians recall occasions when Mr. Reno Omokri strongly criticized President Bola Tinubu and the current administration. However, critics allege that his position later changed, leading some observers to question the reasons behind the shift in his views. It has also been reported that Mr. Reno Omokri recently argued that President Bola Tinubu and his government cannot reasonably be expected to protect every school in Nigeria. Critics have compared this position with his reported comments in 2021 when he called for stronger action against the Buhari administration following the kidnapping of students. As a result, some Nigerians believe there are contradictions between his past and present positions on issues relating to security and government responsibility. They argue that public figures should strive to maintain consistency in their views or clearly explain why their positions have changed. Nigerians should always listen carefully to public commentators, assess their statements critically, and draw their own conclusions based on facts, consistency, and accountability.